is Adam downstairs for this 2-hour loop. Upstairs we have Dana, just making sure you guys don't grab onto anything that you see up there. Just a little bit of safety information for those of you that have not noticed. This is an open-top double-decker bus. Please remain seated the entire time this bus is in motion. And anything that you care about, please keep it inside the bus at all times. No good things such as limbs, cameras, children, inside the bus at all times. Downstairs here we also have Danielle checking tickets, helping you guys on the bus, and driving the bus to the awesome. Toronto right now. Okay, I'll just tell you about the hop-on, hop-off thing. So we have 24 stops around the city. Toronto Drive service 18. So number 17 is the closest to the harbor. You'll see why we can't hit 18 and 19 once we get around there. There's a lot of construction going on in Toronto. Now speaking of construction, as you look around, as you're going around the tour, you're going to see tons of it, little sites everywhere.
Back there?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Hi.
是每几分钟？没有，它一个点，停一个点，你现在记这个点，到时候你如果这里想上车就在这里，那你要会有一个。
啊，所以这是每个点都可以上车的，对？
对，它有4个点，
可是没有间隔几分钟一班，对？
没有没有。
And on our left-hand side right now is College Park. Now College Park is not a college or a park.
然后再2点。
This on the left-hand side is where the Eaton Center was supposed to go originally. Well, where they want to actually move it. Now this building on the left was supposed to be 38 stories tall. College Park now is only 7. Its construction started during the Great Depression, so it didn't actually get built all that tall. Up ahead on the left-hand side, you guys can see a clock tower. This clock tower is all that remains of Fire Hall number 3. What happened to Fire Hall number 3 is very ironic. The clock tower on the left burned down in the 1800s. So the Fire Hall burned down. We can't save anything here to say it's kind of like a rite of passage. They burned down at least once in Toronto. As we go around the tour and I talk about buildings that are no longer there, you can safely assume what happened to them is that they burned down. Again, if it's under construction, you can safely assume it's a condominium. Now the road that we're driving on right now is pretty long. Yonge Street is 1,896 kilometers long. If you want to walk the length of this street, it would take you 48 days. That's assuming the fact that you can walk the length of a marathon younger floor. Please don't say that if you're up top and you'd like to get off the younger floor. I'll get Tony, our awesome driver, to pull over. Now up on the right-hand side is Postal Station F. Postal Station F is not a postal station anymore. It's now but been redone. It's a beauty salon, McDonald's, and Starbucks on the inside, one of the healthiest buildings in the city. But it's a good example of the Heritage Act, just like that clock tower we saw earlier. Any buildings older than 100 years old were not allowed to tamper with what they look like on the outside. It's a postal station with an F on the right, good example of it. And up on the right-hand side, you guys see another large plot of construction. This is for a condominium, as you probably would have guessed. One floor east. Has been a hole in the ground since 2008. First investors signed on the condominium there, lost a lot of money in the 2008 recession. Been a hole now for quite some time. Now we started building a one floor east spot again on the right. Coming up, you'll see that the sidewalks up ahead changed to black Italian granite. Now this was done by the stores here themselves to raise their own rent prices. Why would a store want to raise their own rent? Because recently, lower end compares like the Gap and H&M are moving in to where Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton, and Chanel call home. They want to raise the rent with the black granite sidewalks. They did so to $318 per square foot. Put that into perspective for you. A comfortable student home here in Toronto will cost you about $600 per person per month. So if a student learned enough yoga, you could rent out just about 2 square feet to the big mile. Stop number 5 for Yonge and Bloor, the fancy shopping district we just passed on either side of Bloor Street. So, we're going to see the other side of this fancy shopping district very shortly. We're going to pass through yet another very fancy district of Toronto. This place is called Yorkville that we're really passing through. It's where all the stars like to hang out when they're here for the Toronto International Film Festival the first and second week of September. Now this area of Toronto was its own town before it was annexed into the city. Yorkville had its own town hall, which used to be on the right-hand side where you see these trees on Town Hall Square. What happened to Yorkville's town hall is kind of ironic. What happened to it, Tony? It burned down, that's correct, Tony. The right-hand side, beside a fire station. That was perfect timing. Alright, so up on the right-hand side, this is where the most expensive condominium in Canada was sold. At $28.6 million. Penthouse suite, the Four Seasons on the right-hand side, sold for an absurd amount. What do you get for a condominium that's just under $30 million? Well, it's 3 stories tall, the penthouse suite, the building on the right-hand side. Comes with its own pool. You get a butler there, he'll make you grilled cheese 24/7. But his quarters are in another building because you don't want to be associating with your servants. You just want to know they're there, doing their work. You also get a his and her library because God forbid you read with your spouse. You also get a separate entrance and elevator for yourself so you don't have to mix with the riffraff that only paid $1.2 million for the cheapest condominium in the building on the right-hand side. If you can afford a condominium like that, you probably can afford to shop up ahead on the left across the street with the black signs. That's Pusa Terry's. Now this is where you can buy your fine wines, your aged cheeses, you can get your car valet parking before you do your groceries. This is also where you can buy a $60 cup of coffee. Anyone pays $60 for a cup of coffee? Some people ask me, Adam, it depends what kind of coffee it is. Okay, well I'm going to tell you. The beans are hand-picked by a little cat-like monkey thing called a marsupial down in Sumatra, Indonesia. The marsupial then eats those beans for you, digests them. Beans are hand-picked the second time, this time out of the monkey's droppings. Beans are then presumably washed. And that coffee is brewed for you. The best part of this story is beans are sent to honey later on in that process. So if I haven't convinced any of you, I don't know what else I can say. That's coffee available for $60 a cup. After some pairings. Maybe I've seen the government's with the Northern Freeman Japanese descendant species for that whole week. So you look around right now, very expensive stores here in Yorkville, yet to open for Sunday. Get lost stores like to hang out here for the Toronto International Film Festival. Where do they like to stay? Up on the right-hand side of the Histon Lanes Hotel. Now rooms in this hotel start at $400 a night, and they'll go all the way up to $4,000 a night. All the above each room in this building on the right-hand side comes with a set of remote-controlled blinds and curtains. Let's be honest, those entertainment for at least an hour. Is anyone getting off for the next stop? Coming up, stop number 6. The Park Hyatt, Yorkville, the University of Toronto, or the Royal Ontario Museum. Number 6. Number 1 up top, alright. The left-hand side, if any of you remember who the Jonas Brothers were, this is where they were rumored to be staying when they're doing performances here in the city, and where a group of very crazy 12 to 17-year-old girls stormed the hotel, causing thousands and thousands of dollars in damages, only to get the Jonas Brothers weren't even staying there. They're staying in his planes back behind us. As you see the hotel on the left-hand side, has sits city. The crystal on the left-hand side of the Royal Ontario Museum is 25% glass, 75% aluminum, but 100% controversy. Torontonians love this crystal on the left and hate this crystal. Danielle, how do you feel about it? You hate it. Tony, do you like the crystal? No, he doesn't like it either. I think it's kind of cool. It looks like a spaceship that's crashed into our museum. You guys can pour an opinion yourself. It costs $270 million to leave it. I know that money could have been used towards something better, but it makes the building a unique one in the city. We're going to be passed by the Royal Ontario Museum again after our loop around Casanova. As you can all see, the so left the largest museum with 40 galleries on the inside. Now, if anyone's heard of the Bata Shoe Museum here in Toronto, up on the left-hand side, there it is across St. George Street. The Bata Shoe Museum was started by Sonia Bata and her husband. They traveled around the world together and she collected shoes along the way. She had so many, the government gave her money to open up this museum up on the left-hand side. So there are shoes and they're as old as ancient Egyptian slippers, to ones as new as Justin Bieber's latest purple sneakers. Danielle, you got the Bieber fever. Struck with the just influenza. Sick from the bubonic plague. Say no to the I would know that if you're using it. I was at the station side. Never one of our unique museums here in the city on the inside. And we're coming up just behind very shortly, and we're continuing west, which is the direction we're headed right now. We'd eventually hit Koreatown, one of the many ethnic communities here in Toronto. So we have a Koreatown, Greektown, Chinatown, India, Finland, Ethiopia. It's crazy how diverse the city is. Gosselin, Jim Carrey, Mike Myers. They own houses here in the annex with their families. A lot of doctors, businessmen, big lawyers. And a lot of students live in these mansions as well. Now, how does a student afford a mansion? The answer is very simple. He shares a home with about 8 of his friends, each of them paying at least $800 in rent a month. How can you tell by these homes is a student home? It's easy to get. Look at the lawn. The lawn looks like it has been mowed in quite some time. Probably a student home. And up on the left-hand side, you guys can see the castle. This is the only castle in a large North American city. Castle alone has 98 rooms, 30 washrooms, 22 fireplaces, and an oven large enough to cook an entire cow, a wine cellar of 1,200 bottles of wine, a lot of other things you can buy when you have a lot of money. So I'll tell you more about the castle and who built it right after we pass the lowest bridge on the tour in front of us right now, where the Canadian Pacific rail cars are. So I'm required to tell you guys to stay seated and keep your arms down. Dina, we're ready? All ready? Yep. Tony, we're all ready to go. All right. Sounds like they cleared that bridge well. Excellent. So, the castle was built by manufacturer Henry Mill Pellet. How did he get so rich he built a castle? Well, he thought electricity would be a big deal here in Toronto before anyone else. He founded the Toronto Electric Company, and it afforded him the castle on the right-hand side right now. Right-hand side. State of Monopoly, the city's electricity built this castle. It's now open as a museum telling the life and history of Sir Henry Mill Pellet, who was a very, very interesting character. It also tells what life was like for a Torontonian back in the early 1900s. A very interesting museum. One of my favorites in the city. Is anyone getting off for stop number 7? Castle Loma. No? No? Alright. You guys like movies? Castle Loma played a role in a few of them. If you guys know X-Men and X-Men 2, the castle is the Xavier School for the Gifted. As in Johnny Mnemonic, 54, The Love Guru, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, The Tuxedo, The Pacifier, Chicago, tons of others have been built inside of the castle, including those. At the art gallery, you get 20% off free admission. And up in front of us, that very same low bridge again. Nothing's changed. Stay seated, keep your arms down, you'll keep all your limbs. Zena, are we ready?
We're ready.
We're ready. All right. And Zena, what's your favorite attraction in Toronto? AGO as well? The art gallery? All right. So right now we're sitting on Spadina. Spadina comes from the Ojibwe word Ishpadina, which means gentle rise to the land in Ojibwe. So if you're rich, educated, you knew to pronounce this road, quote Spadina. Everyone who was poor just said Spadina back in the day. That's how they could tell that you were a lower class uneducated citizen by you pronounce this road's name. The rich said Spadina, the poor said Spadina. If you're the average genius nowadays, you would say Spadina. Now the whole city pronounces it wrong. We all say Spadina, but if you like to call it Spadina, go ahead, and when anyone tries to correct you, just tell them that you're more educated than they are, and that's why you're doing that. And also, we talked about how influential the residents of this neighborhood are. They also convinced the city not put up an ugly subway station, but to instead pick up a house, put a subway station underneath it, and put that house back down. Now, they didn't even put a subway sign outside of the place, because they didn't want to ruin the residential look of the neighborhood. Until this became the bad date drop-off point in Toronto. So girls going on bad dates could also get dropped off around this house, 85 Spadina, coming up on the left, saying this was their friend's house. They're just going to run in, grab a sweater, and actually take that subway home, leaving those bad dates behind. That subway station on the left right now. Danielle, I remember that date. It hurts. But when did I go after Danielle broke my first subway home? Coming up. Now, is anyone getting off for stop number 8? Spadina and Bloor. No. So coming up on the left, you guys are going to see a bench, 3 Victorian benches that make up one pub on the left-hand side. 2,000 people fit into Toronto's pub, the Madison Avenue. Enormous inside of there. So next stop will be stop number 9, for the Bathurst Shoe Museum. Is anyone getting off for stop number 9? Alright. The building on the right-hand side is the University of Toronto Schools. This is not a university building. This is a private high school where it will cost you $19,600 to send your kid for a year. The building on the right-hand side, private high school. Now on the right-hand side, a statue of those parents after paying that tuition. So coming back up to the Bathurst Shoe Museum, so I think there's most things you have to know about the museum on the right. It tells the world's history through the perspective of meat. Now let's talk about theft. Now only one pair of shoes has ever been stolen from this museum on the right-hand side. And the thief was very smart to have gotten these shoes. Not so smart to get photos of himself wearing them. Developed at a local photo lab. Now the man working in the lab recognized these shoes, called the police, and they were returned to the museum, but now are in the museum's holdings. Now the next stop coming up will be stop number 10 for the Royal Ontario Museum, the ROM. Is anyone getting off for stop number 10?
Nope.
Alright. Everything here belongs to the University of Toronto. The University of Toronto is Canada's largest university with 70,000 students attending 3 different campuses. Zaina, which college were you a part of? University? Okay. So I'll point it out once we pass by it. University is a beautiful college. I'm going to see it in a second. I'll explain what the colleges are as well. But in front of us, you guys can see that crystal for the Royal Ontario Museum once again. Now the museum has 6 million artifacts in its holdings. 6 million. That's a lot. Only 5% can ever be on display at one time. The other 95% is in a secret storehouse somewhere in the Greater Toronto area. They're going to tell us where that storehouse is because they're afraid someone will come and try to steal from it. And there are 40 different galleries in the Royal Ontario Museum. 40. choose your favorites. Make sure you see those. Ones that you definitely must see though are the dinosaur exhibit. My favorite, absolutely my favorite. And also the gem collection. Now I think the mummies are kind of cool too. They have two mummies in there. One you can see from space. You can see it's terrified me ever since I was a little kid. Danielle, is there another one that you say they have to see? Native American one? Yeah, that's actually a really cool one too. The museum on the right-hand side. Now we're about to turn into Canada's largest museum. Now, students here are separated into colleges as well. These colleges are fully admission to the awards, host fun community events for students who have to apply to these colleges directly. They're kind of like a house of Hogwarts. They just make things more fun. They have rivalries between one another. The best of these colleges is on the left-hand side is Victoria College. Zeta would disagree. On the bottom, Victoria College, the best college, is the left-hand side. This is my college, the University of Toronto, the one I am currently attending. Victoria is one of the oldest, named after Queen Victoria, the queen we love most in Canada. Off in front of us, Queen's Park, named after Queen Latifah. Just kidding. Queen Victoria again. We name everything after Queen Victoria. Queen's Park, Queen Street, Victoria College, Victoria Park, Victoria's Secret, all named after Queen Victoria. Now also, one of these oldest colleges, the University of Trinity College coming up. Trinity College is the one you really have to apply to if you want, if you love Harry Potter a lot. It's the college on the right-hand side with the copper green spires. You have to wear traditional robes to get into their cafeterias there. Coming up is University College, located conveniently in the center of the University of Toronto campus. Behind the trees up in front of us. Now the building that kind of looks like a castle on the right-hand side is University College, right behind the trees. That's the one that Zena attended. On the left-hand side right now, this is the legislature. No. What is the capital? Ottawa, that's right. 5 hours east of here. It's not Montreal, it's not Quebec. On the left-hand side, you'll notice it's not symmetric. Half of our legislature building on the left burned down. Trying to recreate the same way, not exactly the same though. Still telling. Now we're headed to a part of the city called Hospital Alley. Because of all the hospitals that are coming up. So, up on the left-hand side, this is the Medical and Research Science Center, RS. Across the street from one another. The most famous of all these hospitals is probably Sick Kids up on the left-hand side. It's also where the first in utero heart surgery was done. That's heart surgery on a baby still inside the mother's womb. Fascinating. We know someone born in downtown Toronto probably happened on the right-hand side. Mount Sinai. Celebrities trying to get over drug addictions here on the right-hand side. So that's where people have been accidents. near stop number 11. This is a kind of good hipsters now like to hang out in Toronto. You find vintage clothing there, lots of museums, stores, lots of good South American cuisine there. Great tacos. Another South American type thing, it's further south than Mexico. Also, we're gonna hit Chinatown. Chinatown is good for all kinds of Asian cuisine, not just Chinese, but also Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, Thai restaurants. You can find them all in Chinatown. Need their recommendations when you get off the bus. You can ask myself or Danielle. I used to live in this area, so I know this area very well. All the restaurants around here. Very cheap, very student friendly. And also the art gallery will be here again. If you present your bus ticket at the art gallery, you'll get 20% off the main admission. Favorite attraction, both Tony and Zane on the bus. So is anyone getting off for stop number 11?
Yep.
We do have a stop request. Left-hand side, St. Patrick's Cathedral. Right-hand side, Sinner Redemption Pub. Full Sunday, but it costs $50. The glass up on the right-hand side is the Art Gallery of Ontario, the second largest art gallery in the country. This building is huge. There's lots to do with the Art Gallery on the right. Lots of internationally well-known artists work, a lot of Canadian artists work. They have a whole thing of model ships in there. And so here we are at stop number 11 on the map for the Art Gallery, Kensington Market, and Chinatown. A lot of aspiring artists in the building up on the right-hand side. This building now on the right is the Ontario College of Art and Design. Look up. This building looks like a Dalmatian color. This is the sharp century design built up by these colored pencils. They're actually naturally there for show. Ontario College of Art and Design is very difficult to get into. The class sizes there are very small. Portfolio in order for them to accept you. The street in front of us is called Queen Street, coming up ways down. So the building is. Now, Queen Street was formerly called Lot Street. Because if anyone that was brave enough to move here from the UK, they used to get 1 mile square of land upon which they could build whatever they wanted to. About a little thing called winter that we have here in Canada that's very long and very cold. When it arrives, you're expecting the weather to be the same as it was back home, but it's a lot colder for winter. On the left-hand side, you see they're building a stage for the Much Music Video Awards, and then you see a car bursting out of the building on the left-hand side. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. That's supposed to represent breaking news. That's our breaking news channel, CP24, owned by CTV. They're building now on the left. CTV owns Much Music, our national broadcast music station here in the country. And also we have MTV Canada. Like MTV in the States, MTV Canada does not play music. It just plays shows that teenagers find educational. Like 16 and Pregnant, for sure. That's anyone getting off for stop number 12 on the map. That's for John and Richmond, the entertainment district.
Nope.
Oh.
This is Richmond.
So, sold-out performance in the Book of Mormon. Now this theater on the right-hand side, although it's very famous here in Toronto, will be torn down in a few years. They're going to replace it with a condominium, though it will have an entertainment complex on the bottom of it. The company that owns the theater is overseeing this project. It's called the Furbish family of theaters. And Furbish bought all the failing theaters here in Toronto and turned them around, turning Toronto to the third largest theater in the entire world. Not the entire world, sorry, the entire English-speaking world. Right-hand side of the theater, the light box. Today we go to spot number 13. No. Now directly in front of us, you can see some little people on the side of the Rogers Center. This is a statue called The Audience by Michael Snow. So Michael Snow went to a Blue Jays game, took pictures of people he saw in the audience, and then modeled this sculpture after those people. Now they're all just supposed to be anonymous people enjoying a Blue Jays game. Names too, the picture taken, the pointer. One guy's also picking his nose. They're all having fun up there at the side of the Rogers Center. Only one person is made to be someone in specific. It's supposed to be Wayne Gretzky on his father's shoulders up in the sculpture in front of us. Now we're coming up to stop number 14. One of the two stops in the CN Tower and the Rogers Center. Also a stop in the Metro Toronto Convention Center. So stop number 14 is a long stop. You guys have all been on since Young and Dundas Square. You've been listening to me for almost an entire hour right now. Hope it didn't feel like that long, but we're going to be stopped here if you guys want to use the washroom, get something to eat or drink very quickly. Then we'll get going again in just about 10 minutes. If you need any directions, feel free to ask anyone in red. Sena, Danielle, myself, my name's Adam, and Tony who's driving the bus.
Yes. No, it's actually where the child is.
We're going to be here for about 10 minutes again after we've parked.
Looking at the Facebook, exactly.
Then we'll head down to the harbor. If you would like to access the CN Tower, right-hand side. These stairs right here are what you take to the CN Tower. And here we are at stop number 14 on the map. A lot of little ranches. Oh no.
Second class 也是这里的咖啡。
How are you guys looking so far? Any questions? You good? How about you guys? Got any questions so far?
Yeah.
No? How about you guys? Any questions so far? Yeah. Yeah, that's one.
没有啊，我们换了好几天。
那你要一起录啊，你录啊，你知道吧？我想第二次啊，第二轮我们再来搭车沙船，我想录到全部路线回去这样，做2次，第二次我就不录了，我就看，我就跟你讲，你听得懂吗？我有时候没有听清，我有在听，但是我是听得懂，大概有50%-60%吧。我不要，我要一起录，把它录到完。 是我可能快没电了，所以你不要再录了。他们可能在，你有2个电池啊。
他们可能在喝东西。
还是买咖啡？
因为他说休息时间。
他跟我说几分钟。
他就说可以，知道，他说可以先停下来休息一下，喝口水。
你要上镜头吗？
no，
其实你可以就这样。那我想，我要上吗？我照控好吗？
我也在。
不要。你要看他花多少时间，那我到时候上班我可能做看对吧？我会给你做一下。绕回去要10点半，绕到港中午就要上班了。
Hi guys.
Yep.
How long we will stay here?
10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah, less now.
Okay.
排到50分，他还不走就暂停，等一下再排过来。
Is anyone looking to go to like the castle or the museums or the CN Tower? We sell tickets on the bus. I can sell it to you while we're waiting. Then you don't have to wait at the attraction for anything. So planning to go to any of them or to do any of them? They're the exact same as they would be at, except for the CN Tower, which is $3 cheaper on the bus per person. Yeah. The CN Tower after our discount is $34 per adult. Yeah.
But then we can buy the day pass. They have 5 points. Day pass?
Day pass?
Yeah, they say have 5 points is cheaper. Cheaper than buy
Yeah, if you want the city pass for 5 attractions, you have to buy it at the attraction.
Yeah, city pass and not day pass.
Yeah, you can do that at the attractions.
Yeah.
I just sell individual tickets. If you don't have time for 5. Yeah? Are you guys interested? Okay. Okay, sounds good. And the first boat leaves at 11:45. Yeah. So you're gonna be there in about an hour. So yeah, there's cafes around here. Right?